Edna Gardner Whyte was born in Minnesota in 1902. The early death of her father and a very challenging childhood shaped the independent self-reliance that would feed the competitive, rebellious spirit she would carry her entire life. From the moment she became a pilot, Whyte blazed her own trail, breaking down barriers as an accomplished female pilot, instructor, and air racer. Whyte was inspired to fly by Texas aviation entrepreneurs Catherine and Marjorie Stinson. Whyte became a registered nurse in 1926. She took her first flight in a Canadian JN-4 trainer in Seattle, Washington in 1927 at the age of 24. From that moment on, she was hooked and determined to rise above the difficulties that faced women who pursued a career in aviation. The stock market crash and Great Depression drove another decision for Edna. She joined the U.S. Navy Nurse Corps in 1929, where she served until 1935. Her Navy service allowed her to pay for flying lessons at Waukegan Airfield just north of Great Lakes Naval Station, Illinois, where she received her pilot's license in 1931. The Navy sent Edna to Washington, D.C. in 1934, where she began instructing others to become pilots. That same year, she won her first pylon race. Exhilarating pylon racing sparked a deep-seated passion in Edna. Captured by the thrill of full-throttle air racing, Whyte sought both opportunity and camaraderie with the small but growing cadre of women pilots. In 1938, Whyte's 2,988 hours topped the list of female pilots in the United States. In her 64 years of flying, she raced and instructed 3 generations of new pilots, mostly men. Whyte founded the New Orleans Air College and later started a Fort Worth flight school to provide instrument training for military pilots in World War II and beyond. In 1969, she bought property in Roanoke, Texas, that would become Arrow Valley Airport, where she would live, fly, and instruct for the rest of her life. Whyte earned over 125 air race trophies. She amassed over 35,000 flying hours and won the Women's International Air Race in 1953, 1958, 1960, and 1961, received the Charles Lindbergh Lifetime Achievement Award and the 1967 Woman of the Year Award from the Women's National Aeronautical Association, among other accolades. A charter member of the Whirly Girls and president of the 99s from 1955 to 1957, Whyte was the first woman elected an honorary member of the Order of Daedalians, the national fraternity of military aviators. We are honored to induct Edna Gardner Whyte into the Texas Aviation Hall of Fame.